What do an Academy Award winner, a stand-up comedian, and a comic book legend all have in common? They've all had the distinct honor of playing multiple characters in the MCU, and they're not the only ones. Michelle Yeoh made her first MCU appearance in James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2 in 2017. A member of the Ravagers, Yeoh appeared as Alita Ogard. The character has deep comic book ties as a member of the original Guardians and a former Avenger. Despite intentions of having Yeoh and the Ravagers play more significant roles in the franchise moving forward, the actor reappeared as a different character in another corner of the MCU. Playing a more pivotal role in 2021's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Yeoh arrived as the title character's aunt, Ying-Nan. Yeoh's character not only leads the charge in the climactic battle, but connects Shang with his ancestry. While Ogard did not show up in Guardians Vol. 3, the actor could end up returning as Ying-Nan should a Shang-Chi sequel ever surface. Gemma Chan was cast in 2019's Captain Marvel as the formidable Star Force sniper Minerva. However, with Minerva shot down by Maria Rambeau in that film, Marvel Studios was not going to let a great actor pass them by. So the studio gave Chan a starring role in 2021's Eternals. Portraying Cersei the Matter Manipulator, Chan had the most significant character arc of the title team, developing a relationship with Kit Harington's Dane Whitman and ending the film as the new leader of the near-immortal supergroup. With an Eternals sequel still in the cards, Chan is expected to play a significant role in the MCU moving forward. When Chris Hemsworth Thor joined forces with the crumbling rock creature Korg in Thor Ragnarok, they quickly became a fan-favorite bromance. Film director Taika Waititi voiced the beloved soft-spoken monster. The duo shares an on-screen rapport that perfectly encapsulates the lighthearted humor that has defined the otherwise action-packed MCU.
I'm made of rocks, as you can see, but don't let that intimidate you. You don't need to be afraid unless you're made of scissors.
Surprisingly, it is not the only time that Hemsworth and Waititi appear together. In fact, they share a credit. During Thor's tenure as a gladiator during Ragnarok, an assortment of fighters is showcased, including Waititi's Korg. One of the enslaved champions is a massive three-headed bald man credited with the name Haja. At the center of the three faces of Haja is MCU stuntman Shane Rangy, while on his sides are Hemsworth and Waititi. The triple-headed fighter is one of the gladiators freed from Sakaar that joins Thor's Revengers during the battle for Asgard. Sadly, the character dies shortly upon arrival, but makes for a great Easter egg. The talented Benedict Cumberbatch may be known for playing Doctor Strange in the MCU, but the British actor has also played some formidable antagonists, including the Dragon Smaug in the Hobbit films. So it's hardly a shock that upon joining the MCU, Cumberbatch not only played the Sorcerer Supreme in Doctor Strange, but also his own villain, the classic comic book baddie Dormammu. The actor told Cinema Blend, "I went, look, if this is going to work, rather than being a big ghoulish monster, if it's some kind of reflection of Strange, if it's something that he's giving that's coming back at him in a really horrific way, that would be fun, and I'd be happy to do the voice for it." In 2004, Patton Oswalt appeared in his first Marvel movie when he played Hedges in Blade Trinity. He eventually joined the MCU when he landed a recurring role on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., beginning with its first season in 2014. Technically, Oswalt checked the box of playing multiple MCU characters just via that show alone, as he actually played quintuplets. But he's not only on this list thanks to that. He would return to the MCU when he voiced Pip the Troll in a mid-credit scene for the 2021 movie Eternals.
My ears! My eyes are numb. No more drug teleporting for you!
Stan Lee, one of the masterminds of the Marvel comic book universe and many of its greatest superheroes, was the voice and face of the publishing company for decades. As a legendary pop culture icon, it was no wonder that nearly every movie based on a Marvel character included an appearance by Stan the Man. The comic book creator built a collection of cameos in superhero films long before the Marvel Cinematic Universe was conceived, ranging from 1989's The Trial of the Incredible Hulk to more recent projects outside the Marvel Studios umbrella like Deadpool. When the MCU took its first steps with 2008's Iron Man, Lee was there to make his personal favorite cameo appearance, a scene that has Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark mistake him for Playboy founder Hugh Hefner.
The great Hefner.
Following that, Lee managed to appear in every MCU movie through 2019's Avengers Endgame, which was filmed before his passing in November 2018. From appearing as a delivery man to sometimes even himself, Stan Lee has appeared in more Marvel films than any other actor, and it's a record that will likely never be broken. While fans might already have one original Avenger in their mind when they think about MCU recasts, Chris Evans wouldn't be the first. Captain America himself has actually technically played 3 characters in the MCU, though one could make the case that his situation is a bit unique. In addition to playing Steve Rogers in all 3 Captain America movies, all 4 Avengers movies, and even one Spider-Man movie, Evans had a cameo as Loki in Thor: The Dark World. Though he looked and dressed like the Star-Spangled Man with a plan, he took on Tom Hiddleston's physical and vocal mannerisms as the scene sees Loki transform into Rogers to tease Thor. But even if you don't count this cameo as a full role, Evans still has 2 full MCU characters under his belt. In one of the funniest cameos in Deadpool and Wolverine, the actor even reprised his role as Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch from the 2005 Fantastic Four film. Kenneth Choi made his MCU debut in 2011's Captain America: The First Avenger as Private Jim Morita. In the film, Morita was an integral part of Steve Rogers' fight against Hydra. Unfortunately, when Captain America woke up in the 21st century, Morita and many of the Howling Commandos had passed away. But Morita's family made an unexpected return in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Choi appears in the Spidey flick as Peter Parker's high school principal. As he lectures Peter over his absences, a photo can be seen in Principal Morita's office. The photo, featuring Choi as his former Captain America character, was intentionally placed as a way of reconciling the actor's double roles. The subtle Easter egg insinuates that the principal is the descendant of Private Jim Morita, although it has yet to be confirmed by the filmmakers. When a new Blade film from Marvel Studios was announced in 2019, Mahershala Ali became the poster child for MCU stars playing more than one character in the universe. The Academy Award-winning actor who already appeared in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a lauded choice to succeed Wesley Snipes as the iconic vampire hunter. Ali had already been featured prominently in the Marvel series Luke Cage. In the first season, Ali shown as Cornell Cottonmouth Stokes, a ruthless yet tragic crime lord. Unfortunately, however, Ali's Cottonmouth was shockingly killed only partway through season 1. As for the actor, fans were seemingly willing to keep their minds open about Ali's recasting in Blade. In fact, the only conflict concerning Blade and Ali exists within the film's production, as delays, conflicting creative visions, and a rotating door of directors have reportedly left the actor frustrated and on the verge of exiting. No decision from Marvel Studios has proved quite as controversial and potentially disruptive as bringing back Robert Downey Jr. to play the legendary comic book villain Dr. Doom. As fans surely know, Downey's Iron Man started the MCU back in 2008. And both the actor and the character of Tony Stark continued to lead the multi-billion-dollar franchise for more than a decade afterward. He's about as culturally synonymous with the Marvel brand as Kevin Feige or even Stan Lee at this point.
I am Iron Man.
Though the actor had seemingly stepped away from the franchise after 2019's Avengers Endgame, he will return for Avengers Doomsday and its sequel, Avengers Secret War. These 11th hour roster changes excited some fans, but left others worried, as they came on the heels of Marvel churning through director Destin Daniel Cretton and writers Jeff Loveness and Michael Waldron. While he may not be the biggest star to appear in the MCU, Damion Poitier was at one point the most significant villain of the entire franchise. Best recognized for portraying Goldface in the Flash television series, Poitier is a stuntman and actor with primarily minor roles across 2 decades of film and television appearances. However, in 2012, the budding actor landed the role of a lifetime as the most formidable force in the world's most significant superhero franchise. Poitier was given the significant role of Thanos the Mad Titan in 2012's The Avengers, a part later filled by Josh Brolin. Despite Thanos being recast, Poitier did return to the MCU years later as a mercenary working alongside Frank Grillo's Crossbones in Captain America: Civil War. Laura Haddock's first big screen credit came in 2011 as autograph seeker in Captain America: The First Avenger. The actor then landed a slightly more significant role, portraying the ill mother of a young Peter Quill in Guardians of the Galaxy. The role of Meredith Quill naturally grew with the films, as an adult Star-Lord discovered more about his mother through his estranged father, Ego, portrayed by Kurt Russell. Both Russell and Haddock share multiple flashback scenes throughout Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Of course, fans took notice of this double casting and were quick to ask director James Gunn about Haddock's role in Captain America. Gunn wrote on X that the character was Quill's grandmother, although he was equally fast to admit that he just made this up. Seth Green first made a brief cameo as a Stark Expo attendee in Iron Man 2. However, like so many other actors quietly infused into superhero movies via filmmaker James Gunn, Green also landed himself the part of Howard the Duck. One of Marvel's most beloved obscure characters, Howard the Duck has been a part of the comic company's lexicon for some time. Surprisingly, the anthropomorphic duck is also one of the publishing company's first characters to feature in his own movie in 1986. And in the MCU, Howard Duckson, voiced by Green, has even popped up in the Guardians of the Galaxy films.
You know what they say, you're out of luck until you've gone duck.
Green has also taken on the duty of voicing the fan-favorite Fowl in the animated Disney Plus series What If. William Hurt reprising his role as Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross in Captain America: Civil War was one of the first times that the MCU seemed to directly acknowledge the movie The Incredible Hulk, which starred Edward Norton, in any real way. Sure, the Hulk and Bruce Banner continued to exist in the MCU, but he was played by a different actor, Mark Ruffalo. after the character's MCU debut, leaving most of the cast of the 2008 movie as MCU one-offs for a long time. And this fact was hammered home by an actor from that movie later coming back to the MCU as an entirely different character. In 2008, Peter Mensah played General Joe Greller in The Incredible Hulk. 10 years later, Mensah got the opportunity to play another MCU role, one with a little more heft to it. In 6 episodes across Season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Mensah played Kovas. Like General Greller, Kovas was another MCU original creation, but this one played a bigger role in the mythos and allowed Mensah to flex his acting chops a lot more. In the Disney Plus series Hawkeye, Clint Barton's wife, Laura, was played by Linda Cardellini. Cardellini also played the role in both Avengers Age of Ultron and Avengers Endgame. With Hawkeye not coming back for a second season, it seemed like Cardellini's time in the MCU might have been over. That is, until she was called upon to voice the role of the anthropomorphic otter Lila in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I would like my name to be Lila.
Tim Guinee was a part of the MCU before most, as he played the role of Major Allen in Iron Man. While a fairly minor role, Allen nonetheless came back for Iron Man 2 and was once again played by Guinee. Just a few years later, he was cast as the existing Marvel character Clay Wilson for 2 episodes of the Netflix series The Punisher. While he never got to fully become the hero known as Force like Clay Wilson does in the comics, it was still a role with a lot more depth and complexity than Major Allen, and it gave Guinee a lot more to do. Many of the articles written about Season 2 of Luke Cage called special attention to the performance of actor Alfre Woodard, with some saying she stole the show as villain Mariah Dillard, aka Black Mariah. That said, the fact that she was poisoned to death means that we've likely seen the last of Black Mariah in the MCU. It would be great to see Woodard play more MCU characters since she crushes every role she takes on. But it's easy to forget that Mariah Dillard was actually her second MCU character. In the same year she made her debut in Luke Cage, Woodard also appeared in a small role in Captain America Civil War. She played a woman named Miriam Sharp, whose son was one of the casualties of the Battle of Sokovia as depicted in Avengers Age of Ultron. Another MCU wife and mother who ended up voicing a different character in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is Judy Greer. The prolific actor who has over 150 screen credits to her name first showed up in the MCU in Ant-Man as Maggie Lang. Greer reprised the role of Maggie for Ant-Man and the Wasp, but her character was left out of the 3rd film. Like Linda Cardellini, Greer got to add a second MCU character to her filmography thanks to a voice role in a Guardians of the Galaxy film. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Greer plays Warpig, a guard for the High Evolutionary. Unlike Cardellini's Lila, Warpig was not an existing Marvel character but was created by James Gunn specifically for the movie. Seeing as how Warpig is killed, that's going to have to be a one-and-done role for Greer. But there's no reason she can't play Maggie Lang again, or someone else entirely in a future MCU project. Nowadays, fans of the MCU surely recognize Martin Starr from John Watts' Spider-Man trilogy. Starr was given plenty of material to stand out in the film's strong supporting ensemble cast. It was surely refreshing for longtime fans of Starr's work, as the actor had previously gotten lost in the Marvel Universe in a decidedly more dramatic context. In 2008's The Incredible Hulk, Starr appeared as a then unnamed scientist whom Bruce Banner meets on his quest to reverse the condition that transforms him into the Hulk. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige retconned these characters as being one and the same in a 2019 Reddit AMA. But that isn't how Starr was cast, nor how he performed the characters, at least in the first 2 Spider-Man movies. When asked about the character's connection in a press junket that same year, Starr said, "I did not connect the two. I did not assume there was any connection. I auditioned for Spider-Man Homecoming separate from anything related to that." In both Netflix's The Punisher and the original Daredevil series, Clancy Brown plays corrupt ex-Marine Colonel Ray Schoonover, who uses connections in Afghanistan to traffic heroin into the US, and eventually became the drug kingpin known as the Blacksmith. Because he believed Frank Castle to be a threat to his empire, he orchestrated what was supposed to be the assassination of the entire Castle family. Frank survived and became a murderous vigilante as a consequence, ultimately executing Schoonover as the Punisher. In Thor Ragnarok, the actor also voices Surtur, the demon lord of Muspelheim, summoned by the heroes at the end of the film to defeat Hela.
I cannot die, not until I fulfill my destiny and lay waste to your home.
Unfortunately, his prophesized wrath also caused the destruction of Asgard, after which he is finally allowed to die. It's rare that an MCU actor gets recast once, let alone 3 times. But that's just what happened to genre superstar Nathan Fillion, who was cast in all 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies thanks to his longtime friendship with director James Gunn. The first Guardians of the Galaxy film, Fillion voices a hulking blue prison inmate that tries to threaten Peter Quill before Groot ultimately throws him to the ground.
Check out the new meat.
Fillion then makes his first and only full-bodied appearance in the MCU in Volume 3, in which he plays OrgoCorp security master Karja. Unfortunately, his role in Volume 2 was left on the cutting room floor. Most recently, however, Fillion has been brought back into the MCU. In Sean Levy's Deadpool and Wolverine, he voices the zombified variant of Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool known as Headpool.